I'm going to talk a little bit about using a meter dose inhaler with a holding chamber, which is in essence a valved spacer. I've got a couple of different brand names here. I've got the Aero chamber and the Opti chamber, and I don't have a preference for either one. You'll see both clinically. They're very common, as well as a number of other brand names. Regardless of which chamber you're going to be using or you're going to be teaching a patient to use, the steps are very similar. Okay. With the metered dose inhaler, we should make sure it's well shaken. I'm going to remove the cap. Okay. I'm going to take a holding chamber. I'm going to put the metered dose inhaler into the opening on the far side of the chamber. I'm going to remove the mouthpiece to the chamber, and then it's just a matter of actuating or pressing down on the canister. It'll inject a little bit of the medication into the holding chamber, and then it's a nice slow deep breath in order for me to pull the medication from the chamber down into my lungs. All right, let's talk a little bit more about holding chambers. I have both the Aero chamber and the Opti chamber in front of me. Now, something you need to be aware of and something you need to teach your patient. Most holding chambers nowadays have a little bit of a feedback system, and it's actually a warning system to let your patient know if they are actually taking too deep of a breath or sucking in the medication too fast. Okay? Both these devices actually have a whistle incorporated into them. You can actually see the whistle on the back side of these devices. Right? So make sure your patient knows, make sure your patient knows that when they're using these devices, you actually should not hear a whistle. So, what they shouldn't be hearing. Okay? Way too forceful of a breath, way too deep. They need to take a nice, slow, deep breath in when they're using this product. Okay, that was the Aero chamber. If you're musically inclined, you can decide which one actually sounds better. All right, and this is the Opti chamber. A little higher note. All right, so you actually should not hear that note when you're using holding chamber.